In an interview with People, the pair dish about their new freeform show, Chrissy and Dave Dine Out, along with co-host Joel Kim Booster. Chrissy Teigen and David Chang document their friendship and culinary adventures on Chrissy and Dave Dine Out, and it turns out that their little ones are buddies too. Chang has two sons, Hugo, 4, and Gus, 2, with wife Grace. Teigen and husband John Legend share older kids Luna, 7, and Miles, 5, and welcomed daughter Esty in January and baby boy Ren via surrogate in June. They have met many times, Chang tells People, all their families. They get along great, and I think that Luna is always a big sister to the kids. In their new freeform series, Teigen and the Momofuku founder are joined by comedian Joel Kim Booster as they visit restaurants around Los Angeles. While Chang chats up chefs in the kitchen, Teigen and Booster engage in unfiltered conversations with a rotating roster of celebrity guests at the table. For that, they needed people who were funny. We knew that the guests had to have personalities and facets to them that maybe the audience did not think they had. That was the number one thing, Chang says. It's a risk to sign up for something like that, but we had such a good time with everybody, Teigen tells People. I was most excited to hear from the people that I might see out in passing a lot at a dinner party here and there or cocktails or whatever. But to really get to sit and enjoy a meal with people, you really get to see a different side to them, and everyone lets their guard down and opens up, and it makes it really special. Teigen, Chang and Booster all agree that the guests who made them laugh the most were Jimmy Kimmel and his wife Molly McNenny, who joined the trio at Pizzeria Bianco in the premiere. I think they were both so candid, Booster tells People. They were also friends with Dave and they're friends with Chris Bianco, the owner of Pizzeria Bianco. So they felt really comfortable at that table and we were drinking wine and feeling loose. To me, they're a bit of LA's president and first lady, Teigen says. I think anyone that knows them as a couple just loves them both dearly. They're just so cool, and he's met everybody in the entire world, but he's not jaded or weird. I think it was great that the audience gets to see how truly funny Molly Kimmel is, Chang adds. Maybe she's the funnier Kimmel. The show promises that no topic is off limits during the group's candid conversations, and Teigen says she could have gone a lot crazier if she had known nothing was off the table. Booster says it's not his style to avoid getting personal. That's not really my MO as a person, he explains. And the stakes felt very low for me, I think in a different way than for Chrissy and Dave, because a lot of these people are their friends and peers and celebrities. And I'm me. And so I am a social detective. I'm interested in people and I want to know the ins and outs, he adds. And I think the personal stuff is way more interesting than the bulls that you get stuck in at parties where it's like, what do you do? Where are you from? It's like, let's move this along. We have a 45-minute long show. So let's get to the meat of it. Tell me about your first blowjob. When it comes to their favorite food on the show, all three lean savory. Teigen's most memorable meal was a dish consisting of tomatoes, peaches, basil and sesame oil at Chang's Major Domo. Booster was partial to the chicken wings at Korean-American eatery Yangban, which he calls the best he's ever had. And Chang loved the steak tartare at Ethiopian spot Meals by Janet. Chang says their goal was to include narratives from culinary points of view that maybe are not well known to an audience. He also wanted to show that LA is one of the best eating cities in the world and it's extremely diverse. It's also very large and we barely scratched the surface, he adds. So I think what we wanted to sort of portray was LA, from the highest of the high, something like, 2 Michelin-starred restaurant, Providence, and everything in between, is going to be a wonderful place. So just go out and explore and eat with your friends. And I think that was the genesis of the show when Chrissy and I hatched the idea many years ago. Teigen says despite living in LA for 15 years, she had only heard of 2 of the restaurants they visited. Knowing that and then thinking about what else is out there, that is so intriguing and so exciting to me, she says. Booster admits that he came into the show not knowing a lot about food, so hopes it makes dining out less intimidating for others. You see a Michelin star and you're like, oh, that's not going to be for me. It's going to be too complicated, he says. But I think every restaurant, whether they had a Michelin star or were some hole-in-the-wall dining space on Fairfax, it was also good but also accessible. And I think that's the beauty of food. Chrissy and Dave Dine Out premieres on January 24 at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Freeform and streams on Hulu the next day.